The California English dialect is typically heard within major urban areas along the west coast of California. These include Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, and San Jose. In the earlier years of the state, the West Coast was defined with a single labeled language. Due to the later addition of the western states, the East had more vast variety of dialects than the West. The East Coast was packed with dialects from Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, while the West had no speaking differences between anyone west of Texas. Today, California is no longer seen like this. Many different accents exist across the state. Therefore, the term California English is used as an umbrella term for the accents of the state. California was first settled by more than 70 different ethnic groups. Therefore, the main language varied through generations depending on those who conquered. The first to rule was of Spanish origin, then Mexico, and finally English Americans. After English conquest, the English language became prominent. Following the Mexican-American War and the Treaty of Guadalupe, the new American administration was harsh to native inhabitants. Indigenous people populations began to decline as they were forced from their homes and some even placed in small reservations. By the early 19th century, people from all over the United States migrated to California during the California Gold Rush in pursuit of wealth. The varying accents contributed to a new way of speaking, and a new Western dialect was born.
The social groups most associated with the California dialect are those of American pop culture with adolescent and young adult speakers. Due to California's large population, it is home to many Latino, Chinese American, and Japanese American people. Many speak Chicano English and African American vernacular English. However, these speakers do not identify as California English because they are established linguist communities. In terms of ethnicity, California English speakers refer to only 40% of the population, Caucasian people. It is important to understand that the California English dialect is not a substandard form of English. Many stereotypes are associated with this dialect, some being the image of a surfer dude in Valley or Barbie girl. Now let's listen to some speech samples of the California English dialect.
The Valley girl, totally for sure. And I grew up in Canoga Park, which is kind of near Woodland Hills and stuff. You guys have gone there, near Topanga Canyon. And I had this older brother, and he's wonderful. I actually, just this past summer, we became best friends, but we've always hated each other. He's 25 and I'm 20.
The first speech sample was from a woman who was raised in Canoga Park, California. In her speech sample, we could hear the glottalization and questioning intonation that is associated with the West Coast dialect. She used the word like throughout her speech sample, which is used excessively in Californian speech.
I was a kid, moved to Canoga Park, and then I went to high school in Chatsworth, which is West Valley. But I've always retained my passion for the beach. Santa Monica and Venice. My cousins were always surfers. My family has always been involved in surfing, skateboarding.
The second speech sample is from a man who was raised in Santa Monica, California. In his speech sample, we can recognize the stereotypical surfer dude accent. Specifically, the O phoneme is pronounced as the U phoneme. Common vocabulary found among this dialect contains the words dude when referring to another person and hella to refer to the quantity of a lot. Also found in this dialect are the words sketchy, meaning something seems suspicious, and the slang word bum, which is often used when asking for something without plans to return it. Bail is used as a replacement of the word leave, and ballin means success. When someone provides something at a good time, it is referred to as clutch, and heads is used to refer to people. Often, when someone is going to wait somewhere, they use the slang post up, and when they are confused, they say trippin'. In order to show that they agree with something, Californians will say word, and to wear something and look good in it is described with the word rock. The most distinct feature of the California dialect is the caught-caught merger. This merger means that words such as thought, caught, and paw are pronounced with the same vowel sound as knot, cod, and rock. Therefore, there is an absence of the open O vowel sound because it is merged with the script A vowel sound. Another feature of the California dialect that is not found in the standard American dialect is that the front vowels of ash and small uppercase I are raised when found before the ng sound. This causes the ash vowel to sound like the long E and the small uppercase I to sound like the lowercase I. The vowel sound of ash is also raised when placed before the N and M phonemes. To distinguish between the syntax of the California dialect and the standard American dialect, we can compare how the same word sounds in the two different dialects. In the Californian dialect, the vowel sound of epsilon is beginning to sound like ash, resulting in words such as wreck and kettle sounding more like rack and cattle. The vowel sound ash is pulled toward the script A vowel sound position, making the words cot and stalk sound like caught and stalk. The vowel sound of oo is moving more towards the front of the vowel quadrilateral, resulting in the words rude and true sounding like reed and tree. The O phoneme is also moving frontward, which allows cone and stoke to resemble cane and stake. Lastly, epsilon is moving to the upside-down V-wedge position, which allows for book and could to sound like buck and cud.